Episode 4. The Baptism of Saint Kink, delivered to a leather-clad Messiah with a consent form for sainthood. You ever walk into a baptism and immediately regret wearing anything flammable? Because that was the vibe when I got this scroll. It showed up tied in black latex ribbon and sealed with a wax stamp shaped like a riding crop. The parchment was scented, clove, sandalwood, and the kind of confession that ends with someone whispering, "Harder." Urgent delivery. 1. Divine affidavit of canonical sainthood. 2. The sanctuary of sacred flesh. Recipient, the one known as Saint Kink. Notes: leather-clad Messiah claims divine status via consensual revelation. Sainthood pending confirmation. Angels on standby. Safe words pre-approved. Warning: Eucharist may include aftercare. I blinked, then exhaled like someone realizing their eternal job title is celestial middle manager of holy kinks and divine paperwork. "You ready for this one?" I asked the bag. She purred. "Oh, honey, I've been ready." The sanctuary was everything I feared and slightly hoped it would be. Velvet ropes, candlelight, stained glass windows depicting saints in harnesses and apostles in aftercare poses. A disco ball spinning above an altar made of reclaimed shame. Every breath smelled like incense, leather polish, and unspoken desire. At the center of it all, surrounded by worshippers wrapped in robes, ropes, and radiant devotion, stood him. Saint Kink. Tall, beautiful, and lit from within by something older than scripture and twice as honest. He held a flogger in one hand and a rosary in the other, like both were equally sacred, which, in this space, they were. "Saint Bastard," he said, smiling like a liturgy that knew exactly what it was doing. "You've come." "Regrettably," I replied. "I've got a scroll with your name on it." The bag unzipped herself with something between a sigh and a moan. I handed him the affidavit. He opened it slowly, reverently, like it might bite him. And honestly, it might have. The crowd hushed. Incense stilled mid-air. A holy tension filled the room like breath before a kiss. "This confirms your sainthood," I said. "Pending divine administrative review and one minor ceremony involving ritual consent and symbolic purification." He raised an eyebrow. "Darling, we bathe in consent here." And the ceremony began. There was no water in this baptism, only oil and ash, and the tender recitation of every name this Messiah had ever been called. In love, in worship, in punishment. One by one, his followers came forward. Each placed a hand on him, not to control, not to claim, but to witness. He was bound, not in restraint, but in reverence, marked with sigils of pleasure and pain, and when the final verse of the sacred safe word was spoken, the air shimmered. The heavens didn't open. They watched. When it was done, he stood radiant and wrecked, eyes soft, body glowing like revelation. "You're officially canonized," I said, signing the scroll with divine ink and mild sarcasm. He bowed. "Do stay for the sermon." "No can do," I replied. "I've got heretics to haunt and prophecies to misdeliver." He grinned. "Then go, and carry the gospel of embodiment wherever you wander." "Always," I said, "because pleasure is holy. And so is leaving on time." Outside the sanctuary, the bag sighed contentedly. "That one smelled like sandalwood and childhood trauma," she said. "Yeah," I muttered, "but it healed something, didn't it?" She nodded. "It always does." Back in the mailroom, DAWN flickered to life in a static burst that smelled like printer ink and bad decisions. Next assignment queued. I already hated it. Next delivery. This benediction is biodegradable. Location: compost rave, Eden Fragment 13B. Notes: eco-activist angels performing ritual decomposition. Worship includes worm colonies. Warning: high risk of metaphor. I groaned. grabbed the scroll, and stepped into the next sacred mess.